What is up, my Pika crew? This is the ThePikaWu, and welcome to another black and white Wi-Fi battle. This one's going to be a RU tier match against a guy called Seth Christie. I got him by battling him through Skype, and this was a really awesome match because it was a very close match and it came down to the wire. So I hope you guys enjoy. Now, looking at the team preview, I've got a pretty random set of Pokemon. I just decided to bring in Pokemon that I really wanted to use. As you can see, I'm bringing my Licky back. That's my Mr. Playboy set, which is like a offensive substitute Swords Dance set. I'm also bringing Banette because a lot of people have been asking me to use it. Definitely a really fun Pokemon to use, and I'm probably going to use it in more battles. And basically, I'm using some of my favorite Pokemon. Not really the best team synergy, but it did end up working quite well in this match. Now, on my opponent's side, he's got a more structured team. As you can see, he's got the Aerodactyl. That's definitely a lead Suicide Rocker. And then he's got a Spinner. He's got some offensive Pokemon and defensive Pokemon. It's a pretty standard, pretty solid team. So, hope you guys enjoy this battle because I had a lot of fun. And yeah, enjoy. So I'm going to lead off with a Choice Scarf Durant because the Aerodactyl lead is painfully obvious, and this puts me at a really good situation because I have a lot of options. I can basically 2-hit KO this Aerodactyl, and the best thing he can do is basically set up Stealth Rocks if it is a standard set. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Iron Head. Unfortunately, I miss, and on top of that, he actually carries Fire Fang instead of the standard Earthquake Stone Edge combo, and on top of that, he gets the burn. So first turn, very unlucky, I lose my Durant, and basically nothing happened to his Aerodactyl. And this puts him at a very good situation because had that situation not occur, if I did hit my Iron Head and he didn't get the burn, then he wouldn't have been able to set up Stealth Rocks and his Aerodactyl would have been dead with my Durant still alive. But luck was not on my side on this match. So here I have my Qwilfish, and Qwilfish is just going to go for 2 Waterfalls to just take out this Aerodactyl as soon as possible. And I'm pretty sure he's just going to go ahead and go for the taunt first turn to shut down my non-attacking moves like Spikes. And then he's just going to go ahead and Suicide and then go for the Stealth Rocks. So his Aerodactyl did a lot in this match and he should be really happy for that. Now with this Manectric on the field, I'm scared of the Thunderbolt, but I don't want to go into my Electric Immune Pokemon, which is my Golurk, because all Manectrics generally carry Hidden Power Ice or Hidden Power Grass. So I am going to bring in my specially bulky offensive Licky just basically as a pivot switch, just to scout what kind of Manectric this is and to scout how he's going to play. And he ends up going for the Hidden Power, which does basically nothing. So I'm pretty sure he's choice locked into that Hidden Power, so I'm free to set up a Swords Dance, and I can just try to set up with my Licky. I know he does have a Hitmonchan, and that's going to be a problem in the future, but if I do have a sub up, then I should be able to deal with his Hitmonchan quite nicely. So I am just going to go ahead and set up a substitute because I know Spiritomb is set up fodder. What I mean by that is Spiritomb really can't do much to me because they're usually specially bulky and they're not really invested in special attacks. So I know its Dark Pulse is not going to break my substitute. And this puts me in an amazing situation because I do have sweeping capabilities at this point because I actually carry Body Slam instead of Return just for the reason of the 30% paralyzation. And if I do get lucky and I do get paralyzation to the right spot, if I paralyze the Hitmonchan or if I paralyze the Durant, then he really cannot stop my Licky at all. And I can basically sweep his team. So let's see if I can actually either take down this Hitmonchan because I'm at +4, or if I can go ahead and get the paralyzation. If I do get the paralyzation, that would be absolutely amazing. So I go for the Body Slam, his HP goes down, and unfortunately, I don't get either of those. So I don't want to take another Drain Punch because I don't have a sub up and I'm forced to switch. So my sweep attempt is basically cut short by this Hitmonchan. I do have some pretty good switches against this Hitmonchan. For example, I have this Banette and I also have that Qwilfish. I bring in my Banette instead of my Qwilfish because bringing in Qwilfish would be a stalemate situation because I would just set up Spikes and he would just continuously go for the Rapid Spin. So this is a choice banded set and dang, Banette is so strong. Check this out, 70 base power Shadow Claw. It's not a very strong move, but it looks like it's a solid 2-hit KO against the Spiritomb. And I know he probably doesn't have any priority moves because I saw he had Dark Pulse and he's most likely a specially based set, but he actually carries the Shadow Sneak. Luckily for me, it doesn't do much damage, and I am successfully able to take him out. Now my opponent's going to bring in the Durant, and Durant is a very strong Pokemon, very dangerous, but like I said, I have a Qwilfish still alive, and Qwilfish resists both of his stab moves, and I know I can take a Stone Edge at -1, so he actually is going to go for the Stone Edge and check how much damage this does. This is absolutely nothing. And that is amazing. One, that shows me he's probably a Choice Scarf set, and he's not Hustle boosted, he's Swarm boosted. So this enables me to actually set up some entry hazards, and I'm just going to go ahead and set up layer spikes. As he's going to bring in Amoongus, which is a great Quillfish counter, but because I know Amoongus usually like to carry Spore, and I have an Insomnia Pokemon, which is my Jigsaw, my Bayonet, I know if he wants to go for the Spore, it won't work. So I am just going to go ahead and take the anticipated Spore, but it ends up being a Stun Spore, which was a very odd play, because I don't really know why he would go for the Stun Spore, but it works out in his situation because now he can outspeed and take me out with a Giga Drain. So I am just going to go ahead and bring in my Licky to take the Giga Drain, and it's not going to do much at all, and I can try to set up a substitute and go for that shenanigans again. Knowing that he won't go for the Spore or Stun Spore with his Amoongus, I'm just going to go ahead and set up a Swords Dance without setting up a substitute. And he actually switches that into Durant, which was really confusing because my initial thought was I'm going to sack my Licky and just deal as much damage against his Amoongus because he does have the matchup advantage. He can actually beat me when it's Licky versus Amoongus because I'm at a low amount of HP. But because he brought in Durant and he's going to scare me out, I am going to bring in my Quillfish to counter it, and he's going to play a really nice double and bring in the Manectric. So yeah, that was very great on my opponent's part. So that's going to force me to switch out, and I am just going to bring in my Licky because like I said, it is death fodder. It's at a low amount of HP and it's not really going to serve that much of a purpose. So he is going to go ahead and go for the hidden power again to try to catch my Golurk off guard, but I know he's going to keep on doing that, and my Golurk is really important to have, so that's why I leave my Licky here to die. So Manectric is a huge threat, and although I can bring in my Quillfish to resist his hidden power since he's probably locked into that move, I do decide to bring in my Golurk instead, and this might seem like a really odd play because he can just go for the hidden power and deal super effective damage to me, but I really need this Manectric dead as soon as possible, and by bringing in the Golurk, I can lure him into going for the hidden power. I know it won't kill me, and I can retaliate back with an Earthquake, and I know it is a trade-off, basically losing my Golurk for his Manectric, but in my opinion, I thought that was a really good play on my part because Manectric, if you look at my team, with the Thunderbolt and with Hidden Power Ice, it can destroy my team. So I'm just going to go ahead and set up Stealth Rocks as he takes me out with a Giga Drain, basically as like a last minute thing. And yeah, so Amoongus is also going to be a really huge threat because it's just so defensive, but I do have a lot of heavy hitters. For example, I have my Panda, which is my Ursaring with the Toxic Orb. So I actually brought in the wrong Ursaring. What I wanted to do was actually set up a Swords Dance, but I actually carried Protect instead of Swords Dance. So this doesn't really work out in my favor because I don't have my +2, so I know I won't be able to take out this Durant. So I have to switch out. I really wanted to take out that Durant because once his Durant is gone, he has no offensive capabilities. The only threat he has left is going to be that Amoongus, and Amoongus can be taken down by my hard hitters. Unfortunately for me, that doesn't work out. I have to bring in my Quillfish again. I know it's a really great counter against Durant, and I can always win in this situation, but he's gradually chipping away at my HP from my Quillfish, and that is going to be a problem. Plus, he has this Amoongus, and every time he brings in the Amoongus against my Quillfish, I have to switch out, and he can go for Spore or status-inducing move, anticipating my switch out. So it's a lot of, complications in this scenario. I am going to go ahead and go for the Thunder Wave to paralyze his Amoongus. The main reason why I wanted to do that was because now I can outspeed with my Jigsaw, with my Bayonet, and I can go for the Destiny Bond against him. Unfortunately for me, he actually goes for the Giga Drain here instead of going for like a status-inducing move like Spore on my Quillfish. So he is actually going to take out my Bayonet, and I'm not able to actually go for the Destiny Bond, and that was really unfortunate. Now I've basically got two Pokemon left. I've got my Quillfish and I've got my Ursaring. So I have to bring in my Ursaring. I don't have the Swords Dance, so I can't set up on this Amoongus, and I can't just like obliterate him, and this was really bad because now Amoongus is going to pose a huge threat. As you can see, Facade did not even, it was not even a 2-hit KO with a max attack Ursaring. So here I'm just going to go ahead and just keep going for the Facade, trying to take down this Amoongus, because once I take down this Amoongus, I will be able to win the match, and he knows that. He's going to switch out and just sack his Hitmonchan. Now it's 2-2. He's got his Durant and he's got his Amoongus. I've got my Ursaring and I've got my Quillfish left. If I had Swords Dance, I would have definitely been able to clean up with this Ursaring because this Durant, like I said, although it would threaten my Ursaring out, I still have my Quillfish alive, which completely counters his Durant. So he is going to go ahead and just go for the Iron Head. That's pretty standard. And I am, you know, he is going to switch out probably into his Amoongus, but I know I can't do much against his Amoongus at this point because it walls the rest of my team. If I did bring in the right Ursaring, then I might have been able to have a better chance in winning, but unfortunately that's not the case. So here what I'm going to do is actually plan on a different thing. I know that his Durant is at a low amount of health, so that if I set up enough spikes, I might be able to take out his Durant with all the entry hazard damage. So my plan here is basically to force him to continuously go for the Giga Drain on me, and I have Destiny Bond. So if he goes for the Giga Drain and takes me out as I go for the Destiny Bond, his Amoongus will die, and his last Pokemon, Durant, will die from all the entry hazard damage because of the spikes and the Stealth Rocks, and I will be able to win the match with a 1-0. So this is basically what's going to go down. One, he is going to continuously go for the Giga Drain, and hopefully everything works. If everything works and everything goes my way, then I will be able to win the match. I actually have a chance, despite all the, you know, bad moves I did and all the unluckiness that happened. But unfortunately for me, he gets paralyzed at the moment I revealed that I have the Destiny Bond. And that was really, really painful because now he knows I have Destiny Bond and I really can't do much. So that is not good at all. So he is definitely going to go for the Spore here because, you know, he can do that, and then he can go and take me out with the Giga Drain. He can take out my Quillfish, and then he can take down my Ursaring, and that is going to be the match. So when I paralyzed him with the Thunder Wave earlier, that actually caused two things to happen. One, that basically saved him because of the paralyzation. He did tell me he was going to go for the Giga Drain there. And two, if you looked at the Durant's health, he actually has 37.7% health left, and Stealth Rocks will chip away his HP 37.5%. So he actually would have lived the Stealth Rock and Spikes damage by like 1 or 2 HP. So if I didn't go for the Thunder Wave at that point, if I went for the Spikes earlier on, then that would have racked up more Spikes damage on the Durant when he switched it in previously, and that would have been a guaranteed win because he wouldn't have gotten paralyzed and his Durant wouldn't have been able to live the entry hazard damage, and I would be able to win with my Ursaring at 46 HP, and it would have been a 1-0. Unfortunately for me, it didn't really work out in this battle, and it is going to be a really close 2-0, and yeah, that is going to be the match. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like, a favorite, and a comment, and stay tuned for the comment question of the day. If you guys haven't subscribed already, feel free to join the Pika crew by subscribing. So this is the ThePikaWu. Thank you for watching my battle, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.